Speed and control, guardrails for your enterprise. I'm Pumla Schmidt, and I'm here with my guest, Guillermo Gomez. And we're going to talk about governance. And first off, before we actually get into that, Guillermo, let's kind of get a little background on actually what you do here at Microsoft.
All right, so yeah, I'm a product manager for all our portfolio of governance services, and that includes blueprints, Azure policy, cost management, resource graph, management groups, so everything that we have in order to allow you to get that control that you need on the cloud.
So basically, it's everything that most IT departments and application programmers and developers don't really want to talk about, right? The negative of, oh my gosh, the governance police. But it's not that way anymore, is it? So, do you want to talk about a little bit about that history of governance in general?
Exactly, and you're totally right. That is the topic that everybody kind of fears at times, right? Yeah, so I mean, when I got this role, I started learning more about how is governance in the cloud, because we all know how it's governance on-prem. And on-prem, the way it used to work is, or the way it works on-prem today is that if you are a developer and you need infrastructure for your application, you need to request that infrastructure to your central IT team. And your central IT team deploys that, and they are the ones that are trained on making sure that it's compliant with company policies or external regulations, and that's how it works. Now, when things go to the cloud, they change a little bit.
Yeah, the cloud really, it throws a whole new dynamic to the way teams work within organizations. And it's almost like this shift of, I don't know what to do, or I do everything. So how do we actually help that?
Exactly. So in the cloud, what we see is that all of a sudden, everybody can request resources. The cloud is great to get that speed and agility. But as companies grow their footprint on the cloud, things are more difficult to control.
Cloud sprawl, right?
Exactly. And so you start saying, hey, I'm growing, I'm not paying that much attention to governance. All of a sudden, things are out of control. I have machines that are very expensive. Budget is being gone, in a flash. So what we are seeing is that customers are kind of going to that model back again that I talked about on-prem, where they are putting what is, the central IT team, and they have different names like Cloud Custodian, Center of Excellence team, as the kind of like the in-between the user and the cloud, like as a process to, hey, if you want something, come through me. I'll make sure that it's as per company standards. And that essentially what it does is it slows you down as a customer, right?
Yes, it does, because you're not really getting speed that way if you're constantly requesting permissions to do something.
It takes, some of our customers, it's taking them like several months to deploy an application when that's not the value out of the cloud.
So what can customers do to kind of get through that whole custodian blocker? So, because I know you have a lot of tools and features that you can talk about. So why don't we, tell our audience how they can get started and get rid of those blockers there?
So what we are delivering is a set of capabilities led by Azure policy, which allows you to set those guardrails inside the platform. So now you, as a central IT team, cloud custodian team, or center of excellence team, don't have to be in between the developer or the operations people and the cloud. You can empower them by setting these controls inside Azure. And Azure policy leads that by allowing you to create policy as code. So now every single resource configuration can be governed by that policy.
So you said they can do it via code. Can they also do it through the portal? Because one of the things, one of the challenges with going to the cloud is sometimes code can be a little intimidating. So can you do policies within the portal, or is everything must be done through code?
No, you can do it in the portal as well. And we have a set of built-in policies that you don't even have to do anything with the JSON that is underlying that policy. So it's very easy to get started.
And then when we talk about policies, are we able to make custom policies? Because every organization has their unique gremlins and snowflakes and whatnot, and that's often we've got to customize. So how does Azure policy fall into those types of circumstances?
Yes. So we have like a set of built-in policies that our engineering team has been working on. We have hundreds of those, but as you say, you may have like a specific needs. And an example is tagging, right? We have a policy for tagging, but you may have a specific need that tag needs to be a specific format. Let's say 6 numbers and letters, and it cannot be 7 or 5, right? You can do your own custom policy to make sure that accommodates your need.
Okay, so what if an organization has compliance regulations, industry regulations that they need to abide by? Because sometimes policies, are, let's say, restrictive or limitations, but what if they don't want to do harm to the environment? Is it just, could they do audits and whatnot?
Yeah, so policy has like 3 levels of policies, like I would say. The first one is audit. So audit means that what you're doing is setting up a policy, but the user can do whatever they want. If we put an example of a policy, hey, I'm a US-based company and I need to have VMs only in the US. I want to create a policy that VMs are only allowed in the US. If you put it in audit mode, a developer can still deploy a VM outside of the US. It will just be flagged in the Azure policy dashboard as non-compliant and red. Very easy to see.
Okay, so this is all cool and everything, but it's going to take time to put the policies in. Is there, I guess, a faster way to do governance within Azure?
So we have a couple of ways to do that. In policies, we have what the concept of initiative, and an initiative is a bundle of policies.
Okay.
And that bundle can be for different needs, and that's for you to make things easier to deploy. And an example is some regulatory compliance policies that we have around NIST or FedRAMP that you can click on that initiative and you can deploy all the policies at the same time.
Okay, so you've taken the work out for the administrators to figure out what policies they need to get compliant and just put in an initiative. So it's kind of like a one-click sort of button, right?
Exactly. And in Azure, we are the most compliant cloud. We have more than 92 compliance certifications. And what we want to make sure is that that expertise that we have to make Azure compliant ourselves is translated to our customers so they can do that in a very easy way.
So how do we do this at scale, though? Because, I mean, initiatives are great, but still, what if you have thousands of subscriptions that you got to deal with? What is available for organizations in that case then?
In there we have what we call Azure Blueprints. So an Azure Blueprints, for those that you're not familiar with Azure Blueprints, is an ARM template, but an ARM template only has resources, and an Azure Blueprints has resources plus roles in form of RBAC controls, and then policies. So now you can use this blueprint to stamp it across a subscription, 10 subscriptions, hundreds of subscriptions, or whatever is needed, and you will have a fully governed environment of the bat.
So I heard there's been a big announcement here at Ignite regarding blueprints and Key Vault. Can we talk a little bit more about that? Because now we're getting a little deeper within governance, rather than just being more high level, applying policies. The Key Vault, I feel like we're getting in the weeds now.
Yeah, so policies that that you can use in a blueprint, or the policies that you can use in Azure Policy, really set controls on all the configurations that you have at an Azure Resource Manager layer, and that's anything that you can set up in your ARM template. That's how I explain it normally to make it more simple. Now, what we want to do is how do we tackle the use case of a user that wants to apply those policies a little bit in a deeper level inside a service. A very good example is if ingest policies for VMs. So that means that, hey, you can set up with policy traditionally all the configurations of location, family, maybe the type of disk, stuff like that. But with ingest policy, you can go inside and say, hey, I need the password to be this strong, or I need to have these services on or off. For Key Vault, we're doing the same thing. And that's showing all the investments that we're putting with it, ingest policy, policy for AKS, and now Key Vault, where you can set policies on things like certificates, secrets, and stuff like that.
Okay, so we touched a little bit about blueprints, but another, I guess, portion of governance that gets kind of, I don't know, not looked at, but thought of at the last minute, because nobody cares about the budget until you care about the budget, right?
Yeah.
So what can we do to help organizations with cost management?
And cost management is exactly what you say, right? Like, everybody doesn't care about it until budget is gone in a couple of days.
You get the bill at the end of the month, go, whoa!
We've seen that happen because, if you are not familiar with the cloud, you may choose a VM that is very expensive and you don't really need. So that's where we have cost management, which allows you to basically get an understanding of how is your Azure spend at a glance through dashboards. You can find easily what is a spike. Then you can dig deeper into find what a spike is about. But then once you understand that, you can go ahead and set budgets, because that's one of the key things that we're seeing. You need to set accountability across your teams. If there is not a set budget, people are going to use it thinking that it's unlimited, right?
Yeah, because it's an unlimited pit of resources, sort of like the old virtualization days. Spin up a VM, spin up another VM, and it's like, well, at some point, you are going to run out of resources. Just like the cloud, you're going to run out of money or not have enough money to pay for it. So what happens when you use the cost management tool and you do hit your budget? What what can we do to kind of help mitigate, going above budget or staying par?
So the most important thing when you are seeing that you're hitting budget is that you try to figure out what is the reason to hit that budget. And a lot of times is getting resources that are over what you need. An example is I'm using a VM and I'm underutilizing it. Now, Azure Cost Management gives you all the tools to be able to optimize that spend through that integration that we have with Azure Advisor, which through AI tells you all these kinds of recommendations. So hey, you can save X amount of money by right-sizing this from this VM type to this VM type. Or this workload is very steady. You can save money by using a reservation, which is basically paying 1 year or 3 years in advance. So these kind of things are surfaced to you through Azure Cost Management in an intelligent way.
Is there a way to actually shut down resources if they're not being utilized? If the cost management tool sees, hey, wait, you haven't touched this in a while, it's just running idle. Can it actually shut down resources?
It will help you with that, yeah. With that integration that we have with Azure Advisor too.
And another thing is, can it see into other clouds? Because this is a multi-cloud world. Let's be realistic here. Are we able to see into other clouds? Because it's the way the world works.
Yeah, that's a question that we always get. Just to give a little bit of background, we acquired Cloudin around 2 years ago, and Cloudin was multi-cloud. And now we are getting all the power of Cloudin into Azure Cost Management. That's why you may hear Cloudin or Azure Cost Management. And that is, the question that we get is, hey, if it's in Azure now, are you going to invest on providing cost management for other clouds? And the answer is yes. And we're in public preview today with Azure Cost Management for AWS, where you can actually manage your spend for both clouds if you have a multi-cloud environment from a single layer plane.
Okay, so let's say an environment in AWS is running high. Will it actually send you alerts?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It can send you same experience essentially that you have with cost management for Azure.
So is it like a portal with a graph and whatnot, and a report that can be exported out for directors, because everybody loves charts and graphs, right?
Yeah, it has a beautiful dashboard. You can see that in different colors. If you have you want to see your multi-cloud view, you will have your chart with your one color for AWS, one color for Azure, and that's you can export it or show that dashboard directly from there. There are many options.
So we got about 2 minutes left. Another, component of Azure governance that I've been kind of digging is resource graph. How does resource graph play into governance?
Yeah, resource graph is a capability to figure out what are the types of resources or how many resources you have on the cloud. That's not easy if you do it through PowerShell, because you can get locked out of ARM. There are basically some challenges there. Resource graph is a batch. So you can get that information right away instead of querying every resource to get a result. So you can do things like, hey, I want to know all the VMs that I have that are Linux-based and in this region, and it will spit it out for you really, really fast.
So when you do these queries, are you able to save them, or is it just like a once and done thing?
You can save them, and we have a UI version, and you can also use it through PowerShell. There are 2 options there.
That's interesting, because I know when we look at the all resources page within the portal, we used to not get all the views. So it seems like this is a great way for us to see everything within our environment.
Now you get everything.
Now, with resource graph, what are the permission levels in that? Because let's say I have an operation person jump into the environment. Are they able to see things they're not allowed to see, or is it a restricted view?
You can set up permissions as you need. So you need to have certain permissions for different types of people. You just go ahead and set it up.
Okay, great. So I love governance. So it has been great having you on here. Is there any shout outs you want to give? Any other sessions that your group is doing that we want to tell everybody to watch?
We have a governance session today. I don't know the exact time. I think it's 1 o'clock. To talk about all this stuff and actually have hands-on. And I just wanted to mention one thing that we haven't mentioned, and is the fact that we can have all these governance capabilities through Arc now, which makes these
Arc
a lot more beautiful. So that's now you can do everything that we've said through, that you can do on the cloud. You can do it on other areas like on-prem or multi-cloud, which is a huge capability too.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and that's all the time we have. So, Guillermo, thank you again. This has been a fun time, and we're going to go back here to Microsoft Ignite Live.
Thank you.